Welcome back, dude and dudettes, to another wild episode of Send It Mate. We're here to talk about all things hunting and outdoors. And today, we've got something that'll keep your gear running smoother than a dingo's getaway.
That's right. Our show is brought to you by High Calibre, the gun and knife oil company that knows how to keep your firearms and blades in tip-top shape.
High Calibre is like the secret sauce for hunters, anglers, and outdoorsy folk everywhere. It's like the magic potion that makes your gun and knives happier than a dog with two tails.
You know, guys, I've been using High Calibre oil for a while now, and let me tell you, it's the duck's nuts. My rifle practically sings a lullaby when I take it out hunting.
And speaking of lullabies, ever tried sneaking up on a deer with a squeaky gun? It's a prime way to end up with no venison in the freezer. You'll be hungrier than a vegan at a bacon festival.
Absolutely. But with High Calibre oil, your gun will be quieter than a ninja in moonlight. You'll be stalking your prey with the grace and stealth of a mountain lion.
High Calibre doesn't just keep things quiet, it also prevents rust and corrosion, so you won't find your gear looking like it spent a season at the bottom of a creek.
That's right, and for you knife enthusiasts out there, High Calibre has got you covered too. Your trusty blade will slice through anything smoother than butter on a hot biscuit.
So, folks, don't let your gear become a rusty, squeaky mess. Head on over to highcalibre.com.au and grab a bottle of their oil today.
And if you use the code SENDITMATE at checkout, you'll get a special discount. I say again, use the code SENDITMATE for all your oil slick, stealthy hunting needs.
Thanks to High Calibre, you'll be sending it in style and silence.
So, gear up, oil up, and send it, mate. High Calibre, the ultimate oil for the ultimate hunter.
Welcome, you good dude and dudettes, to Season 3, Episode 6. I'm Josh.
I'm Ryan.
And I'm Caleb. You need to stop doing that, Ryan.
Nah, you better keep that in. If I listen back to this episode and that is not in there, all of those people who know who Ronnie Coleman is probably wouldn't have any idea that was actually in there, but you better keep it in there.
How do you know what I take out and what I don't take out?
That would require listening to the podcast.
Oh, you know I listen to my own voice.
You don't listen to
No,
us.
I don't listen to the
You don't
podcast.
listen back.
That's
Don't lie.
no.
Oh dear, that's
It's a
terrible.
bit vain doing that, isn't it, Josh?
Nah,
Well, I have to.
Yeah.
if it was a mirror, I'd be looking at it every day.
It is kind of like a mirror, so mirror of your own voice.
It is. But anyway, so I got a point of interest this week, and this week, basically, I've ticked off a couple of things on my bucket list.
Sex with a transvestite?
Yes.
I thought you already ticked that off.
Yes. No.
That, when we were in Vic, didn't you tick that off?
Did not tick that.
Oh no, it was threesomes with a dwarf. That's what it was.
Oh shit. No, there was no coitus.
Definitely
happening in
ticked that one
Victoria.
off.
Wanked off an elephant.
Anyway, so whilst I've been away down south, just been mustering a few sheep and things like that. And
You fucked a sheep.
no, we've been sort of like, you can only push sheep so hard. And we're mustering them over a fair distance. Anyway, so you get a little bit bored on the motorbike. So you just start doing a few wheelies and things like this. And I've never actually jumped a motorbike. Like, I've never gone up and over a jump on a motorbike before. I've ridden a little bit, not a lot. I'm not like crazy competent, but I'm not incompetent either. But I got a little bit of courage.
Title of your
Average?
Title of your sex tape.
That's all right. Average is good for some people, mate.
I'm not incompetent.
All right. Anyway, at least I can ride a motorbike and steer, Caleb. So
Yeah, that's true.
fine.
I wasn't on a
That's
motorbike.
fine.
I was on a quad.
That's even worse.
Yeah, it's got four wheels.
4
not
points
two.
of contact, dude.
Anyway, I jumped a motorbike for the first time last week.
Did you get like 4 foot of air that time?
Yeah, how much air?
I got a fair bit actually. I probably jumped. I don't know, 4 meters
Did you measure it?
in length. Nah, it was just I've just been picking bits of sort of like mounds and things, and just been like riding up and sort of like giving it a gutful. Yeah.
Did you do a tail whip?
a total.
You do a backflip?
Do burnouts all the time and little skids and shit all the time because you get bored and it's so wet out there that you just like.
Did you do
if a sheep break off from the main herd, you just sort of like, give it some guts and whip out the back. Yeah, been good fun. But I got to tick that off my bucket list. And look, it's not something that I guess we really look at, with people our age. Like we don't sit there and have a bucket list, really, do we?
I do. I got a bucket list. Yeah.
I mean, so you're just calling it a to-do list at this point.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I guess you could call it
A wish list.
It's a bit morbid calling it something that you want to do before you die. I mean, that's what a bucket list is, though, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess that's a bucket list, isn't it? But we don't really verbalise it too much. I mean, we might talk about, I want to take a trip here and there before I die. That's not really a bucket list thing, I don't think, anyway.
What would you say is the most important thing, like to you, the number one thing that you want to do that's on your bucket list?
Pushing myself. And that was something that's...
I can push you.
Like I wanted to...
You want to push yourself.
I wanted to jump a motorbike because I wanted to push my abilities of riding. And
Is that like a thing? Is that like a thing or a mindset, like a consistent mindset, that you like an expectation of yourself? So it's not like, to me, a bucket list is something that is like it's something that you do. It's a specific thing that you want to do before you.
Well, that was a specific thing that I wanted to do. I've been riding for a while, and as I said, I'm not the best, but I'm not the worst. But I was like, every time I got on a motorbike, I've always been like, oh, I want to try it. But I sort of sit there and I'm like, oh, I've never either had the opportunity to just like, I don't know, cut sick and do what I want.
Yeah.
And I've just had like the free time in between pushing not free time, but between mustering the sheep.
So was that number one on your bucket list? What was the question? Is what was number one on your bucket list?
Surely you've got something a bit more outlandish on your bucket list.
Woo, got at least 2 inches of air that time.
So
Done. Tick.
Actually, another thing that I really would like to do is, those cliff swings.
Oh yeah, where
jump off a
you
cliff
like
and you're on
it's
a-
like a massive swing, but you like swing down into a canyon or a massive valley or
Yeah,
something.
yep. I want to do that badly.
Sweet.
That's a solid no from me.
Why not?
Because I'm shit scared of heights. I'd have to wear my brown pants for sure.
That's all right. Who cares? Because when you've finished, you'll be like, fuck yeah.
I suppose it is.
Worth cleaning up
I
the
did
shit.
that moment, isn't it? I probably wouldn't get any enjoyment out of the actual thing, but the massive adrenaline dump, I'd just be like, woo, let's go. I'll wrestle a gorilla now.
That's the thing, man. Like I think it's great. I mean, I've picked up a crocodile before. So at work one year, this was something that I always wanted to do, was sort of like handle a crocodile. It wasn't very big. It was about as big as this table. And
That's still a pretty big crocodile.
yeah, it was. But in Darwin, so on Robbo Barracks, you'd get like the wet season and like showers would come down and the little sort of, they're like drains in between each shed. They'd fill up with water and start running. And I still remember one of the boys came over and said, oh, there's a crocodile in the drain. I'm like, what do you mean there's a crocodile?
There's crocodiles in the sewer.
In the drain. And this is like young Josh. I did not think before I act. There's a crocodile, jumped up, ran over to the drain. There's a crocodile in front of me. And I'm like, I've seen Steve Irwin do this a million times. I can do it. I've whipped off my shirt, thrown it on its head and jumped on it. I was like, yeah, fuck yeah. Because you couldn't. The reason why we had to pick it up anyway, so regardless, we had to get the crocodile to the front gate because we called, there's like a reptile park just down the road. We called them to come get the croc, but they weren't allowed inside Robbo Barracks. So we had to bring the crocodile to them at the front gate.
Security clearance reasons, yeah.
And I'm sure they could have, but it would have taken some time. It would have been.
They would have had to put in an application, filled out some paperwork.
I think they would have filled out some paperwork and had to get an escort and things like that. But it was just easier for us to bring the croc to them. And yeah, so we did it.
No dramas.
Yeah.
What about you,
But it
Callum?
was a bucket list thing. Like it was like, yes, I've done that now. Cool. Like it's like bull riding. I think giving an amateur bull ride a go.
Is that number one?
Is pretty high on my priority.
So that would be your number one.
Yeah.
What's
I
yours?
kind of actually want to ask Nav, and when we go see Nav in the future, be like, "Hey, bro, can you test?"
Fuck yeah, I'd do that. I would definitely do that. I would fucking destroy myself, but I would be willing to lie in bed for the next month if I could ride a bull.
Yeah, fuck yeah. It'd be worth every ounce of agony and pain an injury you sustain.
There's people listening to this like, you guys are a bunch of fucking morons. And we're like,
There's
nah.
probably a bunch of dudes as well that are like, fuck yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Very true.
Like, Caleb, you're pretty vanilla. What's your
Yeah, man.
bucket list?
Boring.
I mean, I don't really have a bucket list, but it'd probably involve just travel to whatever location. Like, I want to go to the US. I want to go hunting.
Okay,
in
something
the US.
something outlandish.
Such a
something-
camp mum response.
Yeah, it is.
What do you want me to say? I want to have a fucking orgy? Like,
Well, that's definitely on everyone's bucket list.
Nah, I'm pass. Hard pass.
You don't want to have an orgy.
No.
I didn't say would you have an orgy. I said, do you want to have an orgy?
No, I don't.
I don't know. I haven't thought about it. Like, I'd probably go skydiving. I haven't got a bucket list, but I've got places I want to go. So
Places, but what about something extreme?
Yeah, it's like an activity. What's an activity? That
Snowboarding
You
off
sound
a
pretty
mountain or
fucking
something.
boring, man. Come on.
like, I don't have. Well, I just said skydiving.
You have no ambition.
I'll do that one day,
That's pretty
but I want to
vanilla.
go. I want to go like on a elk hunt in Montana. Like,
Yeah, there you go.
That's a bucket list.
Done.
Yeah, I get what you mean. That's a bucket list thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, I get that. It's not extreme bucket list.
Like, I want to go to Vegas. I want to have a crazy weekend.
Oh,
in
go to
Vegas.
Vegas. Yes.
I just want to go into Vegas and with 10 grand and put it on light red, and then just walk out.
You can do that in Adelaide.
Yeah, you can. But it's not Vegas, baby.
No, I'm like, what am I? Mid-30s, so I'm not really at a point where I'm like, oh, I got to do this before I cark it.
No, but surely you, I don't know, want to try doing some tricks.
I would just say, look, it really just comes down to places. So I want to travel. I want to go see all the bits of Australia I haven't seen.
Yeah.
Firstly, and more likely I'm going to have to do that before I can go overseas anyway.
Would you do a cliff swing or a zip line or something like? I feel like zip line is a little bit more down your alley than a cliff swing.
Actually, probably be more like motorsport related, like driving F1. Well, not that you can, but like drive some sort of crazy vehicle or
Fuck yeah,
own some sort of vehicle that's I've always wanted.
a Lamborghini.
I don't know. You're pretty good.
That's
At,
so childish.
you're pretty good at flipping things that have four wheels. So I can see what would happen if you did have a Lamborghini. A Lamborghini, you know the little road, not the little yellow road bump things that are in the middle of the islands.
Yeah,
I can just see him seeing one of them and not using the brakes.
ripping off the bumper.
Nah, just flipping the car.
You want a Hurricane, don't you? That's your ultimate sort of
Nah, Aventador,
Ventador. Ah, that's
Yes, I too know what these things are.
Lamborghinis.
Lamborghinis. Yeah.
I don't know. Like as a kid, everyone's like, "Oh, Ferrari, man, Ferrari."
I've never
or a
seen
Porsche.
the point in owning a sports car.
Oh, it's completely fucking pointless. But
Absolutely
if I've just
fucking
got
pointless.
unlimited money, then I'd buy a Lamborghini.
Yeah, well, if you're going to buy a Lamborghini, then you might as well buy the fucking track that you're going to run it on. Because otherwise, what do you got? You got a sports car that you can only do the speed limit in, and you can
Well-
only go on some roads, even the roads that they're supposed to be able to drive on. You can't drive on.
That's quite funny, actually, because in Port Pirie, there is a farmer that won the lotto. I don't know him personally or anything like that. But when I was up there one day, I actually asked my ex-wife, and we drove past this guy's house. Fuck, that's a nice house. Why is his driveway bitumised? Because it was bitumised, and out there, it's all just gravel. And she's like, oh, he won the lotto and bought a Lambo. And so he didn't want to take his Lamborghini on the gravel, so he bitumised this road into his
Yeah.
house,
This
which
is
was
just
like a kilometre long.
Fair enough.
These are the add-on costs that people just don't consider when they're buying a sports car.
We're not really talking bucket list now. We're just talking about if you had unlimited money.
That's true.
Yeah, look, and that's a fair point. But bucket list wise, I guess, yeah, you're a little safer. I think that the old risk analysis in your brain sort of telling you, oh, don't do stupid shit.
I mean,
I
how is
think I'm
how is
losing
a
that
how is a
ability
crazy
the older I
weekend
get,
in
man.
Vegas not doing stupid shit?
No,
That's-
that's not that bad. I mean, what's the worst that can happen? I mean, you're still a
Die.
tiger, or
It's true. You could die.
you get a stripper pregnant or something. I don't know.
Dude,
There was an AFL player who died in Vegas on on a footy trip.
But if that's, do you really want to die in Vegas, or do
That
you
is
want to
like-
die on like fucking like you're choppering in on top of a mountain and you're jumping off on a snowboard and fucking hooking down the mountain, and I don't know, you take a wrong turn and fall off.
that's true.
I'd rather
Any
die
pleb
that
can
way.
go out ODing in Vegas. It's not that hard.
Here's one. I'd like to learn to rally drive properly.
Yes.
Yes,
That would be
That's-
sick.
Yeah, that. All right, I'll get behind that.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, that's
It's
better than
dangerous,
this
but it's
vanilla
also
shit.
skill-based.
Yeah.
There's the intellect.
I think you probably need
Skill-based.
to work on the latter.
Driving. Period.
I mean, for the one quad crash I've had, I've actually a pretty good driver.
Josh.
Nearly died.
Josh, how many quad crashes have you had?
Oh fuck! Way too many.
That is not the answer I was looking for.
Exactly. Let's not talk to Josh about
Yeah,
exactly.
I've crashed a few times.
Yeah, he's crashed motorbikes. He's crashed quad bikes.
Yeah.
I reckon I'm the only one who hasn't crashed and smashed anything up.
Touch some wood, bruh. Touch some wood.
I already did.
But
Anyway,
Anyway, very good bucket list. Send us some bloody commentary on Instagram. What is
Yeah.
what is your
what's
bucket
the most
list items?
What's the
listeners?
most far fetched? Please keep it clean because we can
No,
go.
don't keep it clean. Just
Oh,
fucking
okay.
tell us everything.
yeah.
All right. What is the most far fetched thing, ladies and gentlemen, for those listeners playing at home? What is the most far fetched thing you have on your bucket list? Hit us up at Send It Mate Podcast on Instagram. Let us know.
I want to hear about your crazy clown sex fantasies. Tell me.
Yeah, and we will.
let's not go vanilla. I want to hear some decent fucking
Just some
shit.
fucked up shit.
Yeah, some
and
absolute
the
fucked
most
up shit.
elaborate and out there, the better. And we'll read the best ones out next week when when the next episode's released. And
You have to actually want to do it though. Don't just don't make up the most random story. You
Or
actually have to
something
want to do
they've
it for some
done
reason.
that's extreme on a bucket
Or
list.
was an item on your bucket list that you ticked off? What was it?
oh, we're definitely going to get people sending in like, "Oh, I had an orgy with a dwarf. Wasn't as good as it sounds.
I don't know why. is
Standards were very low."
Why is- oh. I mean,
That's clever.
let's not delve too deep into that because let's just.
I don't know. Is that politically correct?
I mean, it's not, but
Yeah.
I'm assuming it's a thing. I mean, like it's a niche porn category, so
Don't get short with me.
all right, we don't need to fucking linger on the topic now.
Woo. All right.
Anyway,
Come
all
on.
right. Well, this week's topic is turn it up.
Turn it up.
For what?
I think isn't that turned down for what?
Oh god, it's a parody.
You're a parody.
You're a fucking parody. I love how your answer to if we don't get something is, oh, it was a joke.
I was joking, everybody, when I shit my pants.
No, you just failed in English. Anyway, topic this week, turn it up. Ryan, let's break it down. You're up first.
Wiggity heaps.
Fail on the
Good.
treadmill.
Well, what fail on a treadmill?
Yeah, he just said I failed at English, so I'm fat shaming him.
Again.
Not even grey area, just straight up. No, I'm fat shaming him, the fat motherfucker. Yeah,
I don't even care.
it's just so comfortable. In his
I'd
own
rather have a
skin.
cuddly dad bod than spend 3 hours at the gym every day.
Well,
Put that on.
I'm like somewhere in between those two things. I'm like the right in the middle.
you got some good genetics.
Mind you,
Yeah.
I haven't done physical labour in a good 10 plus years, so I'm 2 weeks into back on that now. You watch the kilos drop off, mate. You watch.
Yeah. Next minute, Caleb's the Hulk.
You know, I'm gonna be in his like ear every like week from now on, being like, oh, you just need the carbs, bro. You're burning heaps. And just keep feeding him
Just
shit.
passively make him fat. Just keep feeding him cheesecake and just bring cake every time you see him.
Done.
And it doesn't matter what it is, even if it's like you just drop in for 5 minutes, cake. There it is.
I'm going to find some random protein bars like she does in, what is it? What's that movie? Was it Mean Girls? Where she's like, oh, these Swedish they're Swedish weight loss bars. They'll make you lose heaps of weight, but they're actually protein bars they give to like starving children in Africa, and she puts on a heap of weight. I'm just going to give you those.
But I can just imagine Caleb cutting open your protein bars and putting those ones in there and then resealing them just so that you would never even know, because that is the extent that he would go to.
Yeah, but I'm fine with that. I'll probably need
I'm
it.
just going to inject them with my own semen.
You know, this is
Whole
going,
lot of protein.
That is the
there.
most
it's going straight to 100. I'm taking a shit on your pillow.
But
Yeah.
but turn the pillow over so he doesn't know until he puts his hand
So-
underneath it.
So we made a pact when we lived together that there was no shenanigans because we would escalate too quick.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
Someone
by
probably would've died.
shenanigans, he means pranks, not sexual relations.
Yeah.
Oh,
Of course, with the sex pest shit, no one was thinking.
I'm glad you clarified that.
Everyone was thinking that.
No one was.
We lived together and there was to be no shenanigans. What is everyone?
God.
We had separate bowls for our keys.
But dead set, we would just escalate way too quick, I reckon.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, breakdown. So
Turn it up.
turn it up. So turn it up. I just went straight to sound. So loud sound, loud noises, loud
You're
things.
going to talk about your own voice?
I have quite a booming voice, radio voice, whatever you want to call it. What do you guys reckon is
Annoying voice. Anyway.
no annoying personality, not voice? It's different.
Oh, shit.
Fuck, if you're going to use an insult,
I'm
let's
annoying
use
as
it right.
fuck and I project that loudly to everyone.
right.
Everyone knows about it.
Actually, you do have quite a good radio voice, Ryan.
Fucking oath I do.
You do. I will say that, but you ruin it when you go on your little tangents, like your little singing tangents.
I've got a nice voice, but I fucking ruin it by using words.
It's his dating game. I look good, but as soon as I open my
That's
mouth,
exactly right. Ladies love me until I start talking.
All right, volume.
Well, so what do you reckon is the loudest caliber of rifle? Not like cannons and all that sort of shit.
Can I jump in straight away?
Yeah.
Because I'm going to bring this back to rimfires. So obviously everyone's starts on a 22 or an air rifle and then they move to a 22 or whatever.
Yeah.
When I was young, I had a 22. I used to shoot my dad's Mod 2 all the time and had plenty of fun. I got to an age and I was like, I want to buy something different through dad's license back then. So I saved up money. Dad and I went down to the gun shop and I bought a 17 HMR. And the first time shooting that, it was like a different sound and it was high pitched and it was just I don't even know how to describe it. You know, at 22 you can just shoot all day long without hearing probes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This 17 HMR actually hurt my ears, but not because of its volume. It's
Pitch.
just pitch.
Yeah,
The
frequency.
pitch. Yeah.
Yeah. That's the thing.
It fucking hurt, man. I was like, yeah, wow.
Yeah, it's different for everyone as well,
And
depending
I
on
still didn't
the
wear hearing
follicles inside of your ear holes.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
To answer your question, I do not know what the loudest caliber. There's
That
a
you've
lot of
ever
variables.
shot.
There's a
there,
lot of
surely.
variables there, but
Short barrel, long barrel. pistol.
around an 18-inch barrel, right? So the loudest one the loudest one that has been part of any research.
You got girlfriend?
See, he ruins it with words, doesn't he?
Oh, that's good for you. It's okay,
Oh,
her
you're so
mall.
pretty.
Only $20 mall. It's okay, boyfriend. It's okay, I can protect for you.
Oh, shit.
So the 460 Weatherby Magnum with the 18-inch barrel, but with a muzzle brake. So the muzzle brake is what obviously makes things louder.
A what, sorry?
A Weatherby 460.
460.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Magnum. Magnum, baby. I remember when I tried those sized condoms.
You've got your
It
dick
was
and-
like sausage down the hallway.
got your dick and 3 fingers in there.
And a fist. I mean, Jesus, those things are insane. How the fuck could that Anyway, how loud do you reckon those rifles are? Keeping in mind that 120 decibels, roughly around there, is permanent ear damage.
Yeah, like what, 150?
180.
180.
That's fucking loud.
That is loud.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they...
But a 22, for reference, I think that's over 100 anyway.
Yeah, 22 sits around 100. So 111 is average for a 22.
That surprises me. But
Yeah, but you got to
Yeah.
factor in, if you're shooting it out in the open, obviously you've got like the sound waves aren't bouncing off of walls and things like that.
Yeah,
So
you got to take any, there's so many variables in this, and this is like just sort of general roundabout estimations. It's not a spot on thing because there's so many variables. I mean, if you use a suppressor as well, obviously it makes it quieter. But speaking of suppressors, what do you think is louder, a 22 or a suppressed 9mm? The way I phrased that's
No.
probably obvious what the answer is.
no, it's a
Well.
it's a 22.
Are you going to go down the old Hush Puppy project
No, are you using
avenue with the 9mm or?
Are you using subsonic?
Yeah,
9mm?
if you're using the same rounds, because sub's going to be quieter than your
It's not
standard.
breaking the sound barrier anyway, but with a suppressor and subs, man, you can get pretty quiet.
Yeah, so a Glock 9, if you put subs through at 22 and subs through a Glock 9, the Glock 9 is louder
Naturally, there's
with a suppressor.
yeah.
So like this is one of those things I want to talk about is with movies and how, like, depending on the movie that you watch, how they portray a suppressor and how quiet it is.
Yeah.
Which I'm that guy. If I'm watching a movie with someone, I'm that guy that goes, "That wouldn't fucking happen."
Look,
That's not accurate.
I can relate to this, man. Obviously, in the army, I had a HK and a suppressor for it, but we also had subsonic ammo. And with subsonic ammo, you get pretty fucking quiet.
Yeah, but in comparison to if you're in a quiet area and you shoot a subsonic round, it's still fucking loud.
Oh yeah, definitely.
In comparison to standard
At
velocity,
night, at night as well. Like
yeah,
okay.
it is. So just I've got a fair bit of information here about how loud guns are. This is more of a I was surprised when I read these. So a 9mm, a suppressed 9mm, right, is 126 decibels or thereabouts.
Yeah.
It's still loud enough to create permanent ear damage. So all these movies where they're running around, it's fucking super silent, the frogmen have just come out in the war and they've got little 9mm hanging out and they're pop, pop, it's quiet.
Yeah, see, now we're getting into like, I'm going to chuck technicality in here, and I mentioned it for the first time last week, actually, or last episode. If you have an integrally suppressed weapon, once again, it's considerably quieter. Now, an integrally suppressed weapon is essentially a suppressor that goes down the whole length of the barrel, and the barrel is ported.
What does that mean? What's ported mean?
So it's got holes, essentially.
What, perforated?
Portholes.
Ported.
Perforated.
So it's got holes down the barrel, and then obviously your baffle system on your in between your barrel and outer sleeve of the suppressor, and then your outer sleeve and the end of the suppressor. But that is obviously because it's trapping more gases right at the chamber.
So
it's cutting down.
So you're saying it's just a barrel with holes in it that does the same thing as what a suppressor does. It traps the air, slows the air down, all that sort of shit.
It traps the gases.
So it's a rifle or a pistol that is permanently suppressed, I guess, if that's a better way to put it.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah, man. Yep.
That's cool.
Yep. So, you know, like how when everyone thinks suppressors, they think, oh, you screw
them on, yeah.
Or you slip it onto the end of your barrel. Yeah, that's a thing. And technology has come leaps and bounds with suppressors anyway. They used to just be very, very simple, and now their baffle systems inside are quite intricate and they're angled, and so they move gases in a certain way that helps diffuse the noise.
That's really interesting.
Yeah.
Fuck. So on the other end of that, you've got muzzle brakes, which make it fucking loud.
Well, that's the thing. It makes it loud because it's pushing the gas, basically back.
Yep.
So it's a louder, it certainly redirects some of that noise.
So generally speaking, a muzzle brake will make a rifle about 100 times louder. It would double the decibels that it's putting out.
Really?
Yep.
It's not just because it's changing the direction of the sound? Because people will complain when they're next to you that if you've got a muzzle brake on, oh, it's so fucking loud now.
It does, but the change in the movement of the gas makes it louder.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that because it's actually forcing the gas in a narrower passage. So when you think about it, a bullet without a brake is coming out the barrel. It's got like the whole circumference around it to move the gas, right? So naturally that's going to diffuse gases quite quick and noise quite quick. But if you've got a brake, it's actually redirecting that gas, but it's also trapping the gas and forcing it directional.
Science, batch.
And all in in less of a surface area. Makes sense in my head. I don't know how true
I
it
don't know,
is.
like I'm actually.
It slows
think,
it down, doesn't it?
I think it the other way. Like I would have thought all of it coming out at once of one hole would be louder than coming out of multiple holes dispersed.
No, because if you think about it, if you've got a pipe and you're driving with it, that makes a noise. If you drill holes in that pipe and you drive, it makes a whole bunch of whistling noises and louder noises. It's airflow moving through it, changing direction.
Is he just going back to his recorder playing days or what?
What Ryan's saying makes sense in my head.
So
you're forcing gases in a concentrated form. So
you are, and you're changing the direction and dispersing them in all areas instead of one way. So
look, I'm not disputing it. Like people with muzzle brakes, I am one of them. Your gun is fucking louder, so I know physically it's louder. But to my mind, I would have thought it would be quieter, but it isn't.
It's definitely not. Actually, this is something that the para range does or makes you do if you have a break and you're shooting. They make you put up, those old, they're like a material board. You used to have them around your drum kit, like a false petition at church. They'd put them up.
Oh, like the old school pin-up boards from school.
Yeah, they.
It was like it was like a bit of ply with foam, and then like Hessian material over it or something, and then
carpet.
Yeah,
they make you put one of them up now as a baffle.
Yeah, really? that's OC health and safety thing though.
No, it's because the old dudes don't like the noise that breaks.
Aren't they supposed to be wearing headphones though?
They still don't like the noise. They reckon it's
fucking
louder.
pansies.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Do you reckon that's a? I was doing a bit of research on all the gun ranges around South Australia actually. Based on our future endeavours. Hashtag coming later.
I don't get that at all.
He's lost in his own fucking mind again.
You're terrible, Muriel. I noticed that there's just in all of the pictures, they're all old dudes. There's no young guys in any of the pictures.
It's because they're doing nothing to entice the young guys going there.
Yeah, and a lot of the guys who volunteer as range officers during the week are old retired dudes.
Well, the ranges that I looked at weren't even open during the fucking week.
Look, man, I personally think that young blood needs to step up and sort of get more invested in these sorts of
but during the week, young blokes work.
Yeah, but it still leaves your weekends and that. But then I know everyone's got children and everyone's got other commitments.
It'd be a I mean, people with kids still make it to the soccer games and all that sort of shit on the weekend.
Take your kid to the gun range.
I'm sorry, but I ain't taking 5-year-olds to the fucking gun range.
Oh, it depends on what it is that you're doing there, I think.
Sure, there's plenty of people out there that do take 5-year-olds to the gun range. You have 2 of them, so yes, it's twice as hard. There is no doubt about that.
You need a gun range buddy. You need a buddy system. Do not lose your buddy. Yeah, buddy.
Did we just strike a nerve?
Hey?
Did we strike a nerve?
You did. I'm just having a flashback to this weekend where I took him to Super Cheap Auto and they decided to just go absolutely fucking mental at each other while I'm trying to sign up for a membership and the guy's trying to talk to me through a mask so I couldn't fucking hear him to start with. And then the 2 of them are standing next to me like shoving each other around and carrying on and I'm just like, I'm going to lose my shit in a minute.
Kids.
Yes.
I love them.
But that was after they'd been to a birthday party and had a heap of sugar. So
that is the worst. Anyway, I'll wrap my section up with a final little bit of information. There actually is a rifle. It's actually a muzzle loader. The 2-bore elephant gun, which is around 200 decibels.
Ouch.
Yeah, and old boys were firing them without hearing protection.
Yeah, no one uses Hearing Pro. Hearing Pro's for pussies.
I mean, this is like one of the original elephant guns that they'd used to hunt elephants in Africa back in the day. So they were like, I don't know what an earmuff is. What is that? Some sort of a vagina for your face?
Roll up some cotton wool and put them in your ears. No. All right, well, I'm going to flow into mine. So my topic. This isn't actually
Seamless.
part of my topic, but I'm going to go here anyway.
Do it. You flowed so smoothly into it.
The loudest thing that I think I've ever heard, and this was a surprise. So
is the sound of someone coming.
No, it's
I'm
definitely not your voice because you have a very quiet, girly voice. That's for sure.
Is that your sex voice when you're like, ah?
No, this is my whispering sweet nothings voice.
So his everyday voice.
Do you like?
I swear, you're getting worse. You're getting quieter, not louder.
It's because I'm getting deafer.
Like no one can hear you.
Wouldn't you talk louder if you're getting deafer? More deaf.
I don't
Is
know.
deafer a word? Don't know.
And the Oxford Dictionary says,
I'm getting more deaf. Deafer would be a word. I'm getting deafer.
yeah,
Just doesn't sound right.
Deafer. It sounds like some like street slang thing. Street
you
gang.
are.
The deafers.
My deafness is increasing.
You are, but you're also getting quieter in your voice. It's terrible, man. Actually, it's fucking annoying.
Do you know why it's annoying? Do you know why it's annoying? Because you're fucking deaf because you don't use Hearing Pro.
Yeah, but you need
As
to
much as you
talk
should.
louder. Like every time I've actually filmed us for Send It Mate in the past, like, I don't know, 12 months, every video I've asked a question and you can hear Ron, you can hear Couchy, you can hear Hayden, you can hear me, you can hear everyone else. You can see your lips move, but there is no audio coming through.
Everyone's like, oh, they fucking edited him out.
Change your fucking video settings for my frequency, mate.
We just need to start micing
Come on.
Caleb.
Yeah.
Just Caleb.
Yeah, we'll just put a pin mic on you permanently. And you can walk around with an amp.
Just
Walks
flow.
around with a megaphone.
Get on with your topic breakdown.
Anyway, so when I first joined the army, you go through basic and then you go through IETs and things like that. Anyway,
What's IET?
Initial employment training.
we've already covered this.
I know that.
I didn't write it down.
Anyway, so I think I've said this before. When I first threw a grenade, it was anticlimactic. Now, it wasn't
like the
very
first time
loud.
you had sex.
Actually, is it initial employment training?
Yes.
Oh, fuck
Yeah,
okay.
got it right.
Nailed it.
You were
Thank you.
listening. Yes. Anyway,
I needed the pat on the back there.
it was...
Hey, no shenanigans, you two.
Poo fight. I don't know. Escalate it. Poo fight. Anyway, the grenade was a little bit anticlimactic, and then I fired an 84mm Carl Gustav. Now, the easiest way to describe what this is a rocket launcher or bazooka sort of thing. Anyway, so it's an 84mm rocket launcher, essentially. That's for a lack of better way to describe it. And the first time I heard that, so the 84 going off was as loud as the bomb hitting the ground. So, and the first time I heard it, I was sitting in a waiting bay and I was like, what the fuck is that? I seriously was like, holy fuck, that thing is loud. And then when you fire it, so you get up to your bay. It's a crew served weapon, so two people typically man this weapon. So when you first go up there, now I sort of like was the number two when I first went up there. So someone else was firing it and I was loading it. So you go through your drills loading it. You put one in the spout, BBDA is clear, you back blast danger area because it shoots this cone out to counteract the recoil.
When you say cone, is that like a cone from the pipe or
So-
is that like a cone of flame? Because I'm just picturing a rocket propelled something going.
Sorry, I'm actually incorrect there. That was the 66 that shot a cone out to stop it recoiling. The 84 did not do that, sorry. But it still has a danger area. So where like percussion and things comes out of the back of the pipe, if you're standing behind it, there's that much force that it can cause you damage or injury.
Fucking
Right?
hell.
Good
Sorry.
pickup. Good pickup.
Yeah. Solid. I didn't say anything because I was just testing you.
No, that's all right. Just, sorry, the cone isn't fired out of the 84, it's fired out of the 66. Sorry about that.
So basically, don't stand behind it, otherwise you get a boo-boo.
Yeah, essentially. But you kind of, there's that much percussion that when it hits your legs, right, and there's that much noise and force that when it's fired, it hits your legs and it feels like someone's got a whip and is whipping the back of your legs. There is that much force with this thing. It hurts. The first time that you shoot it, you're like, fuck, shit. Now, what they don't tell you is you got to snug right into the person firing the weapon. So the last thing you do is you check your venturi tube. There's like a little rubber O-ring on the back that helps dampen some of this noise and force, right? And you got to check that. Check your BBDA. Then you pat the
What's
fire.
that, Caleb?
I don't know, porn category?
Back blast, danger area.
Okay, big black.
You tap the shooter, and then you're supposed to tuck your legs in and sort of get real close to him and fire. And they don't tell you that when you're first firing the thing, right? So you're just sort of real blasé, and your legs are like hanging out, and you're like, whoa, whatever. Your mouth is open, and you're like, yeah, sick.
This is going to be so cool.
Then it goes off, and mate, this fucking thud, it is cooked. It's fucking cooked. How loud it is.
Did it knock you over?
No, it doesn't knock you over. But it
Because
rattles
you were skinny as a fucking little runt back then.
Yeah, and your head sort of like your brain inside your skull sort of like bounces off your skull. It's that bad. You're like, fuck me. And you don't want to look backwards either. You want to look forwards. Right? Because all the percussion's coming out of the back. It sort of whips your legs and also whips your face. So you kind of want to...
Oh, because you want to see what's blowing up.
No, you want to look forward to protect your face. So when most people, what they do is they'll check the Venturi tube and they'll be like, BBDA clear, tap the dude, and they're still looking backwards. And the guy that's firing will fire, and then you cop this fucking, like, just pressure in your face. And you're like, it feels like your teeth are about to fall out.
Oh,
It's
Jesus.
fucking cooked, mate.
No wonder you're half deaf.
Well, this thing actually caused my brain injury. My hearing loss.
Finally, we have an answer.
No. Don't cover it up. Brain injury.
My hearing loss. Which I'll move into the. This is a good segue actually. So I actually had permanent hearing damage when I fired this thing overseas. Now there's a HESCO wall, right? And the HESCO wall is taller than me. I'm a reasonably short lad. That's not a hard thing to do. We all know this.
I've met 12-year-olds that are taller than you.
Proud of you for admitting it, finally.
Now I had to fire this thing, and I was sort of like, I walked up to the side of the HESCO wall and I couldn't see over the top. Like I was struggling. So I was on my tippy toes on top of a fucking, what's it called? A sandbag. And I'm like, this tube is like 84 is just above the HESCO barrier. And I'm like, fuck, whatever. And I could just sort of like squeeze my head up. Now, simultaneously, I'm trying to aim this thing, and I'm that short that the tube is riding my helmet, right? And it's pushing my helmet up, and it's pushing my hearing pro out and like skewed and all the rest of it. And I fired this thing, and man, just instantly when you shoot a gun, you got no hearing pro, and it's okay. You're like, yeah, whatever. Like a bit of noise, the good old ring in your ears.
That's not okay.
This thing was like instant headache.
Oh.
Just like a migraine, instant migraine. I just remember going like, fuck, that hurt.
Was there bleeding of the ears?
There was.
Oh, shit.
And I actually remember like I sort of remember, and I'm like, that was the loudest thing I've ever heard in my life. Like it was just, I don't know if I was doing something wrong.
Was this in the middle of combat?
No, this is on at the FOB, the forward operating base. And it was just that loud and that fucking intense, man. I ended up, bleeding from my ear and that, and just instant headache. But without a doubt, the loudest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Fucking hell.
Hands down.
Rocket launcher.
This is a side story that I wanted to go down. This wasn't actually my topic.
That was a rabbit hole, was it?
Yeah, it was a mad rabbit hole.
Can't really turn it up more than that, can you?
Well,
That's the loudest thing you've ever heard.
You can't. And it was. To this day, I think it's I don't think I've heard anything louder. I mean, you hear jets go past and things like that, and that's pretty loud, don't get me wrong. But it wasn't, it's not next to your ear. It's not right there going off,
So what was your topic breakdown then?
You just wanted to talk about some loud shit.
No, it was actually, I was going to ask you both, what's the best or worst thing you've ever turned down?
That's in physically.
As in said no, I don't want to.
No, turned down.
Yeah. So instead of turning it up, you like saying no.
He's gone for an antonym.
Wow, I'm impressed. That's incredibly creative of you.
Yeah. So that's
Opposite day.
Backwards man, the backwards man. Everybody was backwards.
I had help with this topic.
Oh.
So that's okay.
Okay, well,
That's okay.
I take back my previous comment if you didn't come up with it on your own.
But I was going to ask both of you either for the best or the better or the worst.
As in, what is the worst? As in something that we regret having turned down?
Something
or?
we regret turning
something
down?
that you've turned down that turned out to be a lifesaver, or something that you regret turning down?
That's. I have a few of those actually. None of them are very interesting.
Really? We all know what Caleb's going to talk about.
Caleb, the sex pest. What have I turned down?
Well,
So he's like, I narrowly missed getting HIV once.
Woo!
Well, unless you do it, how do you know it was going to be good if you turned it down? So
yeah, that's true.
it might have been shit.
So I
No, do you know what? I have one, but it wasn't. Oh, it's not a turn down moment. It's a fuck. I can't believe I'm actually talking about this on something that's going out on the internet. It's more of a.
You don't have to. You can stop yourself now. I'm just saying.
keep going.
It's more embarrassing than anything else.
keep going.
So I think you both know about this already. The Wes Carr incident. Do you remember that?
the what?
Wes Carr incident.
So for Josh and anyone else who doesn't know, Wes Carr was a contestant on Australian Idol many, many years ago, but
Yeah.
is he from Adelaide? Yeah, he was originally from Adelaide, and he performed at
Carols by Candlelight in the Civic Park.
Correct.
So there's a big like Christmas event that they put on. There's something like 40,000 people there or something crazy like that. And my mother, being the mayor at the time, before the show, they had everyone up in the I don't know what the fuck you call the VIP area, having drinks and stuff. And I met Wes Carr. And Mum's like, oh, he plays the guitar. And I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, no worries. He's like, no, you want to come up on stage and you know, we'll do that. No, just make sure you're down the front and we'll give you a guitar and no worries. In between that conversation and then actually getting up on stage, I sunk about 2 bottles of wine. And
At the Carols by Candlelight.
out the Carols by Candlelight.
Okay.
It's a family event. And
Carols are shit, so I don't blame you.
So hang on, you had no prior rehearsal.
No rehearsal. Nah, I didn't. And then basically I inadvertently turned down a guitar being handed to me, which I could have shredded on stage. Like you never asked me what my bucket list was previously in the conversation here.
Oh, how rude of us.
I did.
Well, you did. I didn't answer. The number one on my bucket list is to play music in front of a big crowd. So this is the whole turn down, but not sort of didn't like my big thing, opportunity that I missed. So where's this guy? Yep, Ryan, come up here, no worries. And he's like, this is Ryan, we met, blah, 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 hop the barrier. First of all, security saw me, he tried to stop me from getting. I was like piss drunk by then. I would have been like, and I was like mid-20s, and I would just at a Wes Carr concert with all these fucking teeny boppers everywhere. And then there's this dude who's piss drunk trying to jump the barrier, and the security guard's grabbing me. He's like, no. And Wes goes, no, he's all right, man. Literally for a couple of minutes, which is a really long time in that sort of scenario. So he lets me go. I get up on stage, and all I did was grab the microphone and just started like howling into it. Didn't know the words, didn't know nothing. And there was a guy standing to my right with a guitar. I was supposed to grab the guitar and just like jam along with Wes, and the band was really fucking good as well. And I've just fucking tunnel vision, just everybody, woo!
Yeah, I do remember this.
And massive regret there. I should have just grabbed the fucking guitar and
Drank less
So
wine.
this
Drank
is a
less wine.
family event,
So I should have turned down the drinks and
which is a blasphemous.
Turned up the volume on the
Australian
fucking
culture.
guitar.
it would have been sick. Like the band was really, really good, and Wes can actually play the guitar. So I'd imagine it would have been like in my mind, it's just awesome shredding and woo, go Ryan, high five.
Can you imagine in his mind he's shredding it and he's like, in.
Dun, 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 dun. No, what the fuck are you doing, Ryan?
I was there. I remember this.
Yeah,
It was-
it was, and then I probably shouldn't say that. You have to edit it out anyway. Someone asked
You
me.
haven't said it.
Yeah, no, that's all right. I won't say it. It's all good.
Someone asked
You don't have to incriminate yourself. You don't have to say anything.
Someone asked
He's
you.
not going to say it.
No, I'm not going to say it.
You've got to say it now. We can edit it out. You just got to say it for the boys.
I'll say it, but you got to edit it out.
Oh, fuck. But maybe I won't.
Maybe you will, maybe you won't.
Maybe I won't.
He'll never know.
Someone
So,
from a particular party associated with a particular person approached me and asked me if I could get them a bag of weed. Me, not knowing anywhere or anyhow, having realised that I just missed my opportunity to be a fucking rock star, was like, yeah, man, no worries. And then he's like, okay. And then I panicked. I was like,
was this Wes?
well, it wasn't Wes.
He said party. I thought you meant political party.
No, it was one of the band members. And it was for them. It was like for them. And I've just gone,
Is this before or after you've just made a dick of
This is
yourself?
after I've just made a dick of myself.
Okay, so they've just gone, this guy's a fucking dickhead. Surely
he's
he's
a
on
Yeah,
Unit.
he's like, he's a fucking loose unit. Look at him. He would know where to get weed from. They didn't know. Well, I don't think they knew that the mayor was my mum. I think they thought I was just some dude who was there. And then I've gone, if you I just panicked. I was like, if you go out down by the front of the stage, there's a guy with a hat.
said that.
I said that. And he looks at me. He's like, "What? Some guy with what? Some guy with a hat?" I'm like, "Yeah." And I mimicked putting a hat on, like a guy with a hat, and then just laughed at me and walked away. And that was my Wes car experience.
Oh, shit.
Oh, I don't think that's incriminating. We can leave that in, I reckon.
And I feel like you should have definitely not drank so much. But
Oh, dude, no, it was.
I can imagine how boring as shit that would be.
Oh, it was quite
Unless
boring.
you were
Again, I was there.
drunk.
Christmas carols are the fucking worst.
Unless you're like a 7-year-old,
Yeah.
in which case you're like, fuck yeah,
Unless
lights
you're
and
just
stuff.
froth and sand hardcore. It is the
Yeah.
fucking worst shit to sit there and listen to.
And it was
Yes,
free drinks.
I am a Christmas Grinch, but my God.
But it was like free drinks, and it was like the 3rd year or something that I'd been there, and I was like, well, fucking. And I was also a smidgen nervous. I think that's
Free drinks.
yeah,
Where?
perks, bro.
Of your mum being the mayor.
Yeah. Well, it was free drinks for everyone. You paid, and it was like a drinks package.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It wasn't free drinks. That's probably not the best way to describe it. But it was like a drinks package for the night. It was like a VIP thing. So you go there, you watch the carols, you get drinks.
Complimentary beverage.
Complimentary
right.
beverages. Yeah.
I thought you meant for the whole.
No,
city
it's
park.
not like
Oh,
open,
no.
It's not like open bar, go get smashed. It's just like complimentary drinks. There's waitresses, there's trays, there's champagne,
Horses,
there's beer.
duvers, or hors d'oeuvres, depending on how you want to
Don't
fucking
make that
pronounce it.
joke again. It's just terrible.
It's funny.
Horses, duvers. Oh my god! All right, so what's yours, Caleb?
What's my what?
He's going to be like, "Oh, I turned down a job once because I'm vanilla."
Oh, sorry.
Turn down a job in a
Forgot I had to bring up what I regret turning down the most.
He's really got like a celebrity fuck story, and he turned it down.
This one time, me and Margot Robbie. Yeah, I don't want to incriminate anyone. so I
Before
won't
she was
say anything.
famous.
Instantly cool horse shit.
Or, in fact, would you say turn it up?
Yes. Well played, sir. Well played.
Which is where I'm going to go with my topic breakdown just quietly because
duel.
turn it up is a display of disbelief. When you say that, someone tells you a bullshit story like, fucking turn it up, mate.
It is.
Anyway, that's where I'm going to go. But in terms of regretting turning something down, I don't know, man. I actually don't know.
You're pretty safe, so
I think about things a lot before I
Yeah, that's quite evident.
accept or reject. So I don't really have too many regrets for turning things down.
I think me and Josh
Yeah,
are
but
the
have-
opposite. We don't think, we just jump in head
have
first.
you ever turned around and gone,
I mean,
well, if I did that, maybe I would have had a good experience, or
I probably would have made some different life decisions. Like maybe I wouldn't have gotten married at 22 years of age.
that's deep.
But that's not turning something down.
Is that a regret, though?
It's not a regret because I have 2 children out of it. But I don't regret them at all.
Yeah, that's deep.
But my life would have been very different if I didn't get married at 22. So, I don't know. Turning down things and I'll regret it. I don't know.
Do you regret not turning Josh down for letting you ride the quad?
Wait, dead set. We were like speed trials. We were all like
In the
fuck
rain?
Yeah. No, but wait. Multiple people went before him.
No.
And they came back
No,
on.
let me rephrase that.
No.
Do you regret not turning the quad?
He did. You did not. There was no. There was. The
Josh has
gravel
done a
was-
forensic analysis on the scene.
There was no braking. There was no fucking. There was no skid marks from the front tires.
Do you know why though? Because
Nothing.
I all the corners are essentially the same except for that last one, which is a hairpin. So I was applying the same amount of steering to all of them, and then you get to the hairpin, you're like, fuck.
I'd believe that.
Anyway, let's not bring this up again.
There's no
I
turning.
regret that. Yes, I
This is
should
the
have.
story. Like, even we're going to crash quads, and then it won't matter because you'll just be the guy who crashed the quad.
I'll be the
didn't
guy who
turn.
crashed the quad, came out with a bruised leg and a limp for a while. You'll be the guys that crashed a quad and have a fucking broken arm or a fucking colostomy. bag.
Definitely
I'd wear
collarbones.
that. Like one, no bones will ever break in my body because I'm just fucking too fucking awesome.
I'll turn it up.
Hey, you got it. You got it.
Turn it up.
But two, mate, I'd wear that as a fucking badge because I'd be doing something stupid. But I'd be turning whilst I'm doing something stupid. I'd be turning it down or turning it up.
Fuck me.
I honestly,
I think we've done this to death.
I
What's
couldn't
next?
tell. Couldn't tell. Well, my topic breakdown.
All right,
Well,
Caleb.
as I said, I'm literally going to talk about turn it up in reference to what it means when you say that to someone, which is you are displaying disbelief at what they've just said.
Oh my god.
Turn it up, bro. You're fucking full of shit. And where I'm going to go with this is to some unbelievable hunting stories. So I was having a bit of a look on the old Google, and there is a website called Ultimate Sportsman, which incidentally is also a series of books which two blokes have put together. And as part, I mean, they're all just hunting stories in general, but there is a section which talks about the weird, wacky, and unbelievable hunting stories. So I'll give you some examples of some unbelievable hunting stories, and then I'll ask you if you have any unbelievable stories. So the first one, an unbelievable way to bag a buck. So, and a lot of these are in America, but in Indiana, there was a kid who was on his grandpa's property, and as he's walking back home, he sees quite a large buck fighting a concrete statue buck, which just right,
That's cool.
right.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
Well, that's not the end of the story. So he spots this buck fighting the concrete buck, so he goes, "Well, I'm going to shoot it." So he's bow and arrow, right? He shoots it in the leg. This buck runs off 50 yards away, but then the buck stops and decides to charge the concrete buck.
The buck stops.
The buck
stops here.
there.
All right. So this buck has charged the concrete one, and when it's hit, it's knocked itself out, and then the concrete buck has landed on top of it and pinned it there. So then he just walked up and fucking shot the thing.
That's yeah. What else would you do? Yeah.
Yeah. What do you need that statue for? I'm going buck trapping.
Now, something I should say is this website, there's actually photos of all these stories, which you can click on and read the story. A lot of them are just photos that are pretty unbelievable, but
What's the website?
it's called Ultimate Sportsman. Anyway, so there's pictures of this buck, which is allegedly a 230-inch buck.
Holy crap.
Yeah,
Like muley or whitetail?
whitetail, I think. But so at the time, that was supposed to be the biggest deer taken with a bow and arrow
That's insane.
at the time. There's a bit of conjecture about that. People have tried disproving it, but
That's
either way, there's photos of this deer with a concrete fucking statue deer on top of it. So why would you, if you've shot a deer, why would you bother putting a concrete statue on top of it if that wasn't actually what happened?
Oh, 100%. There are heaps and heaps of stories about this. One comes to mind about a hunter. When I was a kid, this story used to get around. Now, if you can imagine, there's a duck hunter in the States, and say like 7 ducks are lined up on a log, and then there's another log on top of it that one duck's sitting on, right? This duck hunter's gone, okay, cool. Shot the duck that was sitting on top of the log above the 7 ducks on the log below, and in doing so has dislodged the log at the top, fallen on the 7 ducks below and trapped their legs. So one shot, 8 ducks.
I mean, these are pretty far-fetched stories. So
Very
you're
far-fetched.
more than likely inclined to say,
Yeah,
fucking
horse
turn
shit,
it up,
yeah.
mate. Turn it up.
Yeah, I'd be like, horse shit.
But so that's why I like this website, because there's photos of this. Like, there's a 412-pound buck that someone shot. This thing is so fucking fat. It's not funny. Anyway, another quick one is the story of the Alaskan Clydesdale, which is basically a guy in Alaska raised an abandoned moose calf with his horses and trained it to haul lumber.
And say that
That's
again.
just smart.
All right, so this guy in Alaska
Yeah.
has, I don't know if he actually shot its mother or whatever, but anyway, he came across an abandoned moose calf. He has raised it alongside his horses and trained it to haul lumber.
That's
All right,
pretty.
and he reckons
smart.
it's the best work animal he's ever had.
Well, those
and-
things are huge, man.
Like there's photos of him with it fully fucking harnessed up hauling lumber. Right now, he keeps it around the place by he's got
Can you
a
say that again? Hauling what?
lumber.
Lumber.
Okay.
Lumber.
Keep going.
What did you think I said?
Keep going.
Hauling ass.
No. So it sounded different for a second, but keep going.
Okay. Well, use Hearing Pro. Anyway, so he keeps it around his property. He puts a sweet salt lick to encourage it to stay there. And the thing disappears during the rut for a few weeks, but it always comes back.
That's insane. He just goes on a boys' trip to get his fuck on, then comes back and goes back to work.
Yeah.
So he doesn't keep it penned up. It just stays around the place.
That's fucking awesome, actually. I couldn't believe that, to be honest, man. Because, like, all right, so an animal like that surely can be tamed.
Well, if you've raised it from
Yeah.
since it was a calf, it's going to think it's like a horse. But it's funny, it still has that natural instinct to fuck off and go get its fuck on.
I've got to ask, like, 11-year-old Caleb, did you just look at your dick and was like, yeah, I know what to do?
No, I was raised by wolves. I only fucked during the rut.
What he's saying is he's into wolf stuff.
Those people who wear those wolf t-shirts.
Yeah. What are they called? Fuck, what are they called? Pixies? The fucking furries.
Fairy. Oh, fuck
Fairies.
that is some
Fuck
weird
is a
shit.
furry?
F-U-R what?
People that dress up as
Fairy?
animals and fuck.
Porn do you watch?
F-U-R-R-Y.
Seriously?
He just knows
Furry?
about it.
Fury. How do you spell furry? Is F-U-R-R-Y?
Yes. And then if it's plural, it's just IES instead of Y.
Fairies.
Sounds a bit like fairies, but it's fairies. Anyway, shall we continue?
Super weird. Yep.
Remove the fucking bore sighting device prior to shooting. Well, that's a good tip. There's a guy in the US, and luckily this happened at a range because he left his bore sighting device in his rifle and fired the thing. And there's photos of what it looked like afterwards. If you can imagine peeling a banana
Yeah, but
4 ways,
Well, that'll be like clogging your barrel. For those playing at home, a bore sighting device usually is a cylindrical thing similar to a bullet that you slide down your barrel, and it's got a laser on it, and then you use that to pinpoint where the bullet's going to go instead of shooting a bunch of rounds and wasting ammo sighting your rifle in.
Yep. So this thing basically blew up in his hand, and it was lucky he did it at a range, and there was other people around that could take him to hospital. Imagine if he'd done it by himself, he'd be fucked.
Yeah.
See, I've heard something. I've heard another story when I was young about a guy that was hunting deer with a muzzle loader, and he left the ramrod in the muzzle, shot a deer, dropped the deer, but the ramrod's gone up into the air and hit once again a duck. So he's hit a deer and a duck, This is like, I don't believe this at all. Don't get me wrong. It's complete myth, I personally think. But, I mean, I can see someone leaving in the history of the world a ramrod in their muzzle loader.
That one's probably
happening.
Those two are probably not as far fetched, but there's going to be some freak accidents in the world.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, if you leave your ramrod up there, would it?
She said, "Leave your ramrod up there."
Title of your sex tape. So if you leave your ramrod up there, would it? I mean, I suppose in a muzzle loader, it's quite a it's like a heavy barrel, so it wouldn't explode.
I don't know if it's possible or not. If it would shoot out or not, I don't know, mate. Maybe. I mean, the odds may be stacked against you as well, but maybe that 1 in a million it did shoot out and hit something. I don't know. I do know that they now have rifles that can shoot arrows.
Yeah,
Air rifles. I think it's air rifles.
yeah.
I think
it's an air
maybe-
rifle. It's like a bowman or something. Whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, what's the fucking point? Get a crossbow, dude,
Or get a bow and
or a
if
gun.
you're going to get a crossbow, you may as well just get a rifle and, be done with it. But that's just me.
Pretty much.
Yeah, I'm pretty much the same.
All right. Well, talking of freak accidents, there's a story of the power line deer, which a lady rang up because there was a power outage. So she rang up the electric company. Can you come and fucking fix the power outage and make sure you bring something tall enough to get to the top of the power lines because there's a fucking deer on top of the power lines.
What?
Yeah. So
What the fuck?
I know. And a deer on top of the poles of a power line. And you might ask how it got up there. Well, there was a train line nearby and the deer was on the tracks. The train came through, hit the deer. The deer launched into the air and landed on top of the power lines. And there's photos of this deer sitting across the power lines.
Here I am thinking that Santa's gotten sick of fucking Rudolph and just
cut him off.
Yeah.
Get on this website and check out the photos. Some of these are funny as fuck. There's another one about a hunter who was shot by his dog. Kind of like, how the fuck did that happen?
I could see that. I could actually see that happening, man. I mean, you got to think how many rifles are in the world, how many people are in the world.
It was probably a mastiff. Those things are pretty aggressive.
Well, this is just poor etiquette once again. So he sat on the ground to take some photos, put his loaded shotgun down next to his leg. He's got a dog there on site with him.
Yeah, I could see that.
And the dog's like fucking carrying on. Anyway, the dog stepped on the rifle. The trigger was pulled. It shot him.
Look, I could see that happening. Yeah.
So
bloody oath, I could.
just stupid. So
Smart safety.
now the other one, the last one I want to talk about. Get on this website and have a look. Actually, ultimatesportsman.com. There is some fucking books you can buy as well. But I want to read one which I found to be my personal favorite, which is about two hunters from Michigan. And they drive out onto the lake. I'm going to read this one because this one's a good one, right? So they drive out onto the lake, which is covered in ice, and get ready. Now they want to make some kind of natural landing area for the ducks. They're after ducks. Something for the decoys to float on. And in order to make a large enough hole to look like something a wandering duck would fly down and land on, it's going to take a little bit more effort than just, drilling a hole in the ice. So these guys decided to back out their brand new Navigator, which is a Lincoln Navigator, 4-wheel drive. And out comes a stick of dynamite with a short 40-second fuse. So they're on the ice. They've reversed their 4-wheel drive out there. They've grabbed some dynamite, 40-second fuse. So now these two rocket scientists do take into consideration they want to place the stick of dynamite on the ice at a location far away from where they're standing and the new 4-wheel drive, because they don't want to take the risk of slipping on the ice when they run from the burning fuse and possibly go up in smoke with the resulting blast. They light the 40-second fuse and throw the dynamite. Now, they've got their dog with them.
Oh, I can see what's going on.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about the dog. A highly trained black lab used for retrieving. Especially things thrown by the owner. So they throw this stick of dynamite. You guessed it. The dog takes off at a high rate on the ice. It captures the stick of dynamite. The burning 40-second fuse about to basically go up. The two men yell, scream, wave their arms, and wonder what to do now. The dog thinks they're cheering it on, so it keeps coming back. So I think these guys are like, fuck, this dog's going to bring the dynamite back to them, and it's going to blow up. So they grab the shotgun and they start trying to shoot the lab to stop it, right? But the shot they've got in their shotguns isn't enough to stop this lab. All it did was scare it. The dog stops for a moment, slightly confused, continues on. They keep firing at it. Now it's fucking confused. So it thinks, what the heck's going on? So it goes to find cover. And where does it go to find cover? Under the truck. But the brand new Lincoln Navigator. So, of course, then eventually the dynamite goes off. The four-wheel drive is fucked. The dog is fucked and blows a big hole in the ice. They both sink to the bottom of this lake.
Wow.
Both of the dudes.
No, just the dog.
Oh, the dog in the truck.
The dog in the truck. Fucking.
That's just.
Well, I'm presuming there's not much left of the dog.
No, of course not.
But that,
that's.
You wouldn't think about that though. I think about if I would have thought of that. No, because you're thinking your safety, the safety aspect of it is you're thinking, oh, this will explode. We'll stay far away. Like that's safety done. You don't think my dog might get it and bring it back to me. Yeah, I wouldn't have thought of that.
But it's a highly trained retriever, so.
Yeah, I don't know how highly trained it is if it doesn't know what the command for stop is.
I can see the mistake. I can see how easy that would be to make.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well,
I mean, that story sounds like you might say turn it up.
40-second fuse, though, is a long time, man. They could have easy fucking...
Let the dog bring it back, pick it up, throw it again.
Put it in the hole and then walked off. 40 seconds is a long time.
That's true.
That's
very true. You can walk like 100 metres in 40 seconds.
Easy.
Yeah, so...
Well, maybe
they obviously just panic.
People run 100 metres in 10 seconds.
Yeah.
I mean, time stands still when you're panicking and it's a life or death. So you're probably going, fuck, it's been 40 seconds. It's going to blow at any moment.
To be honest, they could have just got the dog to come up to them, grabbed the dynamite and then just pulled the fuse.
Or they could have just waited till the dog brought it back, held the dog and thrown it.
Yeah. There's quite a number. I feel like that was very poorly handled.
Well, they chose to shoot the fucking dog. And then it was...
So not only did the poor dog get blown up, but it was also peppered with bird shot.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
That's an epic
What a way to go out. Confused, hiding.
So you've gone out for a few ducks. You've killed your dog. You've blown up your brand new full drive.
That's a shit story to go home and tell your missus.
Pretty much. That's an epic fail.
I just wouldn't. I'd go home and be like,
oh, where's the truck?
Like, how's your day? And I'm like, yeah, good. I had a car crash. Don't want to talk about it.
Did you get any duck? No.
Right, written off. Yeah, no, did you get any duck? Yeah, 2.
Yeah.
And just as a...
Where's the dog? Oh, he ran off.
Yeah.
Just as a side note, the insurance company said that sinking a vehicle in a lake by illegal use of explosives is not covered. So naturally, they didn't pay out.
They didn't tick that box.
Wow. That's bad luck right there.
Insurance companies.
I mean, I don't know that I'd want to be throwing dynamite to blow up some ice on a lake that you've got your vehicle parked on.
And this is vanilla.
No.
Yeah. Righto,
This
camp
is
mum.
camp mum. Oh, no, don't be doing that.
Well,
now.
it depends. If it's thick enough to park a car on, would it be thick enough to...
I'm assuming these two aren't fucking Tom Brady, so they're probably throwing it 50 metres at most.
No, I feel like we'd all be drunk doing donuts on the ice.
Yeah, and then someone's found a stick and gone, hey!
And then you got Caleb's probably in the passenger seat going, no, I don't approve of this.
Yeah.
Slow down.
Someone's yelling, pull, with a stick of dynamite.
Turn the wheel. Turn.
Left. I said left.
Someone has to fucking balance out
No, I can't wait for
the level of fuckery.
the
in
one
this trio.
time that you let your guard down, you fucked it, and you'll never let it down again. I'm gonna break this one day. We're gonna go to counselling together, and we're gonna go for you.
You have to discuss the shenanigans at some point. Might as well be in front of us.
Mate, I've done my fair share of stupid shit. Don't you worry. Anyway, that's me done. Shall we move on to the next?
Oh yeah, yep.
The next little thing we do, which is
ND.
ND.
Negligent discharge.
You dickhead.
So
Ryan.
this one's mine. I've actually had a pretty shit week, to be honest.
Terrible.
Yeah, I wasn't in the fetal position at all at any stage because I did my back real bad, and it's all because of one stupid little thing. You guys ever spent 3 days lying on your back in front of Netflix?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's shit.
No.
I mean, it's not like Netflix and chill. You're by yourself. I mean, which I suppose can be Netflix
could
and
be
chill.
Netflix.
Are we saying
Yeah.
Netflix in inverted commas, which is actually Pornhub, or
Yeah.
I feel like
There's-
there's both. Netflix
Like, there's
and
only so
Pornhub.
much that you can do, right? And then it stops working, and then like you got to actually watch Netflix. But drove me crazy. Yeah, drove me crazy for 3 days. Anyway, the ND out of all this, roundabout conversation that we're having here,
fuckery?
the fuckery is, So for those playing at home, I've had a couple of back injuries in my time, which means I do some what?
They've stopped playing.
They stop playing, probably.
Those at home have stopped playing.
Okay. Anyway,
No one's playing at home.
I'm a big believer in yoga for keeping yourself limber and
Yoga's a fancy name for fucking stretching. Fuck.
Well, yoga, stretching, Pilates, all sort of under the same category.
Let's just
Josh would never
it
call it
manly.
yoga or Pilates because it's not manly enough for him.
nah.
I do warrior yoga, bro.
I've done Pilates with
Warrior
Ryan.
yoga.
I've done
Yeah, man.
Pilates with Ryan. It's fucking
I
hard
rest
shit.
my case.
Yeah,
It's girly.
you're girly.
Let's just call it stretching.
Josh, you're so hard.
Let's just call it stretching.
It's fucking manly.
Let's meet in the middle and call it stretching.
You're the most masculine man I know, Josh.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
It's too bad the lack of height takes it all away.
You are the alpha of all alphas, Josh.
You remind me of like G.I. Joe, but not the actual G.I. Joe, the G.I. Joe action figure, because he's like really small.
and has no penis.
Smooth down there. Smooth ball.
Shit.
That's funny. Anyway, the ND.
Still pull more chicks than you, mate.
Well,
What do you do with them when you get them with your fucking smooth
Scissor?
no?
Fuck. It's 2021, mate.
duh. Hello, fucking. It's a thing.
Tongue. Fingers.
Finger.
Feet. Elbow. Knuckles.
Nose fucking.
Fuck. Head. Do whatever.
Anyway, the ND is I didn't stretch and I smashed me back in real bad.
Ouch.
And it's my fault because I didn't do my yoga. That's negligent discharge. So those playing at home,
What were you doing specifically though?
so I was shoveling. It's really the perfect storm. So I was out in the cold. It was something like 2 degrees. So you got cold, lack of warming up, didn't stretch out, any of that sort of shit. And I was shoveling.
Turn it up. It was warmer than that.
No, it was fucking cold. I'm telling
It
you,
was at least 10.
it was. You know how? Have you ever got your ball sack and pulled it up over the shaft of your dick? It was so cold
That's
that
a
it did
physical-
that
that's a-
without me having to use my hands.
That's a physical impossibility. I can't do that.
I forget you have a shrivel sack syndrome. It's
Yeah, do you have really obscenely small?
That says I either have a massive shaft or extremely small balls.
I think your ball to shaft ratio is
Take your
out.
pick.
Later. Yeah. Yeah, I'm going with the latter.
Yeah,
A large shaft.
The latter.
large girth. You chode.
Anyway, I'm now lost. So what? You were digging a hole.
No, I wasn't even digging a hole. I was shoveling dirt out of the back of a trailer, but it wasn't dirt. It was like grass and mud.
It was extra heavy dirt.
It was fucking shit. And Yeah, all because it didn't do me yoga. So everyone who's got a back injury, do yoga. Don't be a pansy.
Stretch.
And you'll be right.
Stretch.
Yoga, Pilates, stretching,
Stretch.
core work.
Would you describe it as clean, Phil?
No, absolutely not.
Okay.
It was like mud and sludge. So anyone who's familiar with, I see what you did there, clean Phil. That's funny. You had your own dose of clean Phil playing in the.
Yeah, I fucking dug
First time he's ever used the shovel.
I
reckon,
dug
this
a
week,
trench
eh?
this week. Settle down.
You dug a hole and it filled with water.
I don't like digging, especially when it's mud and it's clay. You could
Digging
make,
in mud is shit. It's the shittest. If you could say, answer the question, what is the shittest thing to dig in? It would be mud.
shit.
I'd
would
rather
be-
dig in shit than
Actual
mud.
shit would be the.
Well, actual
shittest thing.
shit's good shoveling, mate. It might be a little bit sloppy depending on how low to the bottom of the
Depends.
shit pile you are.
Depends if whether it's one of Josh's protein shits or whether it's
Well, in
my.
that, if it's one of Josh's protein shits, you
Mr.
just hose it
Whippings.
off. Just
Yeah,
grab
that's
the hose. Just whoop, done.
anyway,
There you
no, this was clay and it was fucking terrible. if for anyone who's dug in clay and you put the shovel in, get a shovel full of dirt or clay, then you go to get rid of the shovel full, and half of it clings to your fucking shovel. You really get nowhere.
Really, you're just having a workout.
Basically, you're just lifting heavy things on the end of a stick.
I do that every day in my bedroom.
At least twice.
No, I dig holes in my bedroom.
Dig holes. That is the best euphemism for sex I've heard. I'm
Digging holes.
digging a hole.
Yeah.
Do you know what my favourite one is?
What?
Throw a length up her.
Throw.
Yeah.
Throw.
Throw a length. Yeah.
If the bloke who taught me that one ever hears this, Steve, fucking, you're a champion, mate.
That is excellent.
Not the Steve you're thinking of. There's another Steve.
No, I like that actually. That's good. Throw a length, you know.
Throw a length up her.
I like throw a leg over. Well, that's probably more referred to women, isn't it? Oh, women throw the leg over.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to delve into your sexual
Yeah, I don't want to go
history.
I've
there. Not
thrown-
at this time at all.
I've thrown my leg over a couple of things in my lifetime. Some of them left me with splinters, others didn't.
Okay.
Yummy.
I don't really know where to go with this other than we should probably
Yeah, I think we've run its course.
end it before we go down a deep, dark hole.
Yeah, turn it up.
Josh, you
Oh,
want to finish us off, mate?
no.
Because it's me.
I want
And
you to finish this off.
I thought you'd never ask.
No shenanigans. You have an
I think you
agreement.
could, mate.
I'm a generous lover. I'll finish you off first.
Ah, turn it up.
I've seen those fucking sausage fingers. They ain't fucking pleasing anyone.
I mean, again, girth. What the fuck's wrong with you?
Chode hands.
There is no pleasing you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening to our filth yet again. Yet again. You've hung in there. You've listened to another hour and 20 of us talking absolute smack.
Much appreciated to have
We
the
do love
company.
that. Listen again next week where you'll be listening to more of the same, essentially. So, yeah, we have been Send It Mate Podcast. I'm Caleb.
I'm Ryan.
And I'm Josh.
We will see you, talk to you next week for season 3, episode 7.
Woo!
Thanks, dude and dudettes.
Catch ya.
Peace.
Bye.
I got a piss.
When don't you need to piss? Will it be red?
What? What do you mean? G'day, dude and dudettes. Josh here. Do you find it hard to keep your long, hard barrels free from gun STDs? Maybe you need a clean out of your bore. If this is you, jump on over to highcalibre.com.au and use the promo code SENDITMATE to receive a 10% discount on all your gun cleaning needs. And remember, it's sexy to support Australian-made products. Everyone here at Send It Mate uses high calibre, and we can promise you that it'll keep your firearms free from those pesky gun STDs.